In a world where fame and fortune seem to shield celebrities from the common struggles of life, there are instances when even the brightest stars find themselves falling from grace. Behind the glitz and glamour, some celebrities have been involved in shocking events that have overshadowed their careers, leaving them to confront the consequences of their actions. From deadly accidents to criminal convictions, these chilling stories remind us that no one, not even the famous, can outrun their past. Let's take a look at a few celebrities whose lives were marked by tragedy and scandal, revealing the dark side of fame. Number 10. Ted Kennedy. The tragic Chappaquiddick incident. One of the most infamous tragedies in American political history occurred on the night of July 18, 1969. Ted Kennedy, the youngest brother of assassinated Presidents John and Robert Kennedy, was involved in a deadly car accident on Chappaquiddick Island, Massachusetts. Kennedy was driving a car when it swerved off the Dyke Bridge, plunging into a pond. While Kennedy managed to escape, his passenger, Mary Jo Kopechne, drowned in the vehicle. The aftermath of the incident was clouded in mystery. Kennedy did not notify the authorities until 9 hours later, and due to the delay, police were unable to determine if he was intoxicated or at fault. As a result, Kennedy avoided manslaughter charges, pleading guilty only to leaving the scene of the accident. He was sentenced to a 2-month suspended jail term and temporarily lost his driving privileges. This incident, though, marked the end of Kennedy's presidential ambitions, with many believing that his political career would never recover from such a tragic and controversial event. Number 9. John Huston. The fatal accident that plagued his career. John Huston, one of Hollywood's most celebrated directors, known for classics like The Maltese Falcon and The African Queen, found himself at the center of a real-life tragedy in 1933. At just 26 years old, Huston was involved in a fatal car accident when his vehicle struck a pedestrian, causing her death. Reports stated that the woman was thrown over 30 feet upon impact. While Huston was charged with manslaughter, the jury ultimately found him not guilty, as witnesses testified that he was not driving recklessly. However, rumors have circulated over the years suggesting that the driver of the car was actually Clark Gable, a famous actor at the time, and that Huston was coerced into taking the blame by Hollywood's influential power players. Whether or not that's true, the incident certainly added a layer of complexity to Huston's legacy. Number 8. Laura Bush. A teenager's unintentional tragedy. Before becoming the First Lady of the United States, Laura Bush was a teenager involved in a deadly car accident in 1963. At the age of 17, she ran a stop sign, colliding with another vehicle and killing the driver, 17-year-old Michael Douglas. In her memoirs, Spoken from the Heart, Bush opened up about the profound guilt that haunted her for years after the accident, particularly because she never reached out to the victim's family. Though she was devastated by the loss, the incident did not receive significant public backlash. Those who knew her, including her classmates, described her as a girl who was deeply affected by the tragedy. However, it's clear that the event shaped her life in profound ways, and her guilt remained an ever-present burden. Number 7. Felicia Pearson. A past of crime and redemption. Felicia Pearson, who became widely known for her role as Snoop in the acclaimed series The Wire, had a past far more criminal than anything she portrayed on screen. Growing up in foster care in Baltimore, Pearson's childhood was steeped in hardship. At the age of 14, she was convicted of second-degree murder after fatally shooting a 15-year-old boy named Oki Atumer. Though Pearson served 6.5 years in prison, she later turned her life around by breaking into acting. However, she couldn't entirely escape her past. In 2011, Pearson was arrested again in a federal drug bust and charged with conspiracy to sell heroin. She eventually pled guilty and served a short prison sentence. Despite her criminal history, Pearson's story serves as a reminder that the journey from darkness to light is not always easy, but it's possible. Number 6. Gucci Mane. A brush with murder and redemption. Gucci Mane, a prominent figure in hip-hop, found himself embroiled in a 2005 shooting incident that nearly cost him everything. When a group of armed men burst into a friend's apartment, Gucci fired in self-defense, which resulted in the death of one of the intruders, Henry Lee Clark III. Gucci was initially charged with murder, but the case was dropped when a witness came forward to confirm his self-defense claim. While Gucci Mane was never convicted of the murder, his life didn't go unscathed. The rapper admitted in interviews that he suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, which led to some erratic behavior. Despite this, Caitlyn managed to turn his life around, focusing on his music career and ultimately becoming one of hip-hop's most influential artists. Number 5. Suge Knight, the fall of a hip-hop mogul. Marion Suge Knight, the infamous co-founder of Death Row Records, has always been a controversial figure in the world of hip-hop. Known for his violent tendencies, Knight's career was marked by numerous accusations, including that he forced a promoter to drink his urine and dangled rapper Vanilla Ice out of a balcony. But it was an incident in 2015 stemming from road rage that led to his downfall. Knight was involved in a fatal hit-and-run incident in which he ran over 2 men, killing one and injuring the other. He was arrested and charged with murder and attempted murder. In 2018, Knight pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 28 years in prison. His story, filled with power, violence, and ultimately a long prison sentence, is a cautionary tale of how quickly fame and power can turn to infamy. Number 4. Caitlyn Jenner, a fatal accident that changed everything. In 2015, Caitlyn Jenner was involved in a deadly car accident on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. Jenner rear-ended a Lexus, causing it to crash into oncoming traffic and be struck by a massive Hummer, resulting in the death of passenger Kim Howe. Jenner blamed the accident on paparazzi, claiming they were following her, which distracted her while driving. Though authorities did not charge Jenner with criminal negligence, the incident sparked a flurry of lawsuits. Jenner ultimately settled these civil suits, including an $800,000 settlement for the driver of another vehicle involved in the crash. Despite this, Jenner has expressed deep remorse over the incident, acknowledging that some tragedies are simply impossible to undo. Number 3. Luther Vandross, a deadly car accident that altered his life. Luther Vandross, the celebrated R&B singer, was involved in a tragic car accident in 1986, which claimed the life of his friend, Lawrence Saldamini. Vandross was driving when he swerved into oncoming traffic, striking 2 cars and causing the fatal accident. The singer was charged with misdemeanor manslaughter and reckless driving, and he eventually pled no contest. Vandross's life was forever changed by the accident. He agreed to donate the proceeds from a benefit concert to a scholarship fund in his friend's memory, which helped him regain some public support. Tragically, Vandross passed away in 2005 at the age of 54, but his life and career continue to inspire millions around the world. Number 2. Aaron Hernandez, a star player's tragic fall. Aaron Hernandez's tragic story was one of the most shocking in sports history. A rising star in the NFL with a $41 million contract, Hernandez was arrested in 2013 for the murder of his former friend Odin Lloyd. His arrest led to his termination from the New England Patriots, and soon he was charged with several other murders. In 2015, Hernandez was found guilty of Lloyd's murder, but he was acquitted of 2 other shootings. Just 2 years later, Hernandez died in his prison cell at the age of 27, an apparent suicide. The autopsy revealed that Hernandez had suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a condition linked to repeated head trauma. His tragic story has been the subject of multiple documentaries, providing a chilling reminder of how quickly fame and success can be overshadowed by a life of violence and despair. Number 1. Amy Locane, a life altered by drunk driving. Actress Amy Locane, known for her role in Melrose Place and films like Cry Baby, was involved in a fatal car crash in 2010. After drinking heavily, she lost control of her vehicle, causing it to slam into another car and kill passenger Helene Seaman. Locane was convicted of second-degree vehicular homicide and sentenced to 3 years in prison. The tragedy did not end there, as Seaman's family appealed the initial lenient sentence. Locane was ultimately sentenced to an additional 8 years in prison. Her life, once filled with promise, was forever altered by a moment of poor judgment that cost someone their life. That's all for today's video. If you found these stories shocking and thought-provoking, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gripping tales and fascinating insights. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.